Hey there YouTube, NinjaNick333 here today with an Ojama deck profile. I started getting tired of just playing meta all the time, or semi-meta with my heroes, and you know, Ojamas give me a nice little break every once in a while. I just rebuilt this because I have a friend who was like, oh, I'm building Ojamas, and I have to mirror match them and beat them. So for starters, we've got 2 of each of the vanillas. If you have 3 of each, it gets way too cloggy. You really don't want to draw these guys. You want to get them to your hand with Ojamas. And then just 1 of each is definitely not enough. You got 2 Ojama Red, because when you summon him, you can special summon up to 4 Ojama monsters from your hand in attack position. So he's just a great way to get that Delta Hurricane off. Then you've got 3 Ojama Blues. When this is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, add 2 Ojama cards from your deck to your hand, which can include Ojamuscle. Though Ojamuscle is a very, very bad card, because it's very unlikely you get it off. But, yeah. So this is the guy, you want him destroyed by battle, and since your opponent will figure out the strategy, because the whole deck revolves around Ojama Blue getting destroyed by battle. So if that doesn't happen, basically the opponent wins. So there are ways to get it so that you can destroy him by battle. Then you run an Honest, because every Ojama is a light. So worst case scenario, ram that blue into their monster, drop Honest, destroy them both, get blue's effect. Then I've got 2 Shining Angel and a Super Nimble Mega Hamster. Super Nimble Mega Hamster is way better. I'd rather run him at 3 than 1 of him and 2 Shining Angel. I just only own 1 of it. So until I get my hands on 2 more, I've got the Shining Angels as replacement. So Super Nimble Mega Hamster flips. Special summon a level 3 or lower beast type monster from your deck in face down defense position. Cough, cough, Ojama Blue is a beast, cough, cough. Shining Angels bring out the Ojama Blue also. Problem with them is they bring it out in attack mode, and it's got 0 attack. Then, to round out the monsters, I've got 2 Junk Synchron. Best part about him, when he's summoned, you get that level 2 monster from your graveyard to sync with him. All Ojamas are level 2. So basically, Junk Synchron is like the tour guide of the Ojama deck. And that's it for monsters. Next is spells. I've got 3 Ojama Country. Once per turn, you can send an Ojama card from your hand to the graveyard, special summon an Ojama monster from your graveyard. So you'll ditch Ojamagic, bring back Ojama Blue. Ojamagic's effect goes off, add 1 of each color vanilla to your hand. While you control a face-up Ojama monster, switch the original attack and defense of all monsters on the field. So all Ojamas become 1000 attack, 0 defense, all your opponent's monsters flip 2, it's awesome. So here's the 2 Ojamagics to go with that. Only 2, because you're running only 2 of each vanilla. If you draw a vanilla, 1 of them's dead. If you draw 2 of the same vanilla, both of them are dead. But you can still ditch them for the cost of Ojama Country anyway. If you do, let's say you have 2 Ojama Blacks in your hand, which for some reason that happens to me sometimes. The effect of Ojamagic can't go off, because you can't add 1 of each. Because the Ojama Black can't be added. So it ends up just being dead. Ojama Delta Hurricane, with red it's real easy to get off. 1 of each vanilla on your field, wipe theirs. Then I've just got some staples. Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy, 2 MSTs. Then, one of the ways to make sure you get Ojama Blue off, Creature Swap. You can steal your opponent's big-ass monster and give them a face-up attack position Ojama Blue, just ram right into it. They take damage, you get his effect. Then I've got 2 United We Stand. A problem with this deck is that you have very low attacking monsters. Especially when attack and defenses are switched, and you're using something that's not an Ojama to attack them with, like Mistworm, it'll only have 1500 attack. Just equip whatever you want with United We Stand. If your field is completely full with all just regular Ojama monsters, United We Stand gives you game if you equip it to just one of them. Then you've got you've got regular polys. I just have one of each art because I like them. Because you like to fusion summon in this, and regular polys actually end up working. Then you've got one super poly, just because I like to do some crazy butt combos with it. It's not needed, but it's just fun, and I'll explain that later. Then I've got a Tri-Right. Target 3 level 2 or lower normal monsters in your graveyard. Special summon them from the graveyard. So say you just went Polymerization, your 3 vanillas into Ojama King. Tri-Right. Get all the materials back on the field. That's 6,000 damage you have on the field. Equip one of them with United We Stand. That's game. Then trap cards. I've got a Magical Hats and 2 Ojama Trios. And that's it for traps. I'll explain the reasoning for them and, well, right now, actually. Since the... Well, let me go over the extra deck first. Then for extra deck, you've got 2 Ojama Kings, locks 3 of your opponent's monster card zones from use. Now, the wording is up to 3, so if there's 2 unoccupied and 3 occupied, you can't select an occupied one. Which sucks, but he goes to a 3,000 beater under Oja Country. Then, Ojama Knight. Any 2 Ojama monsters locks down 2 zones, 2,500 defense, which is awesome. Then you've got Xyz monsters, 3 Gachis under Ojama Country. He goes to 2,200 attack if you have 2 of them on the field, which does happen a lot. They'll boost each other with their effects, which is just great. Plus, it takes a lot to destroy them too. Dark Mist, because it's frickin' Dark Mist, and you have a lot of level 2s. Daigusto Phoenix, because it's Daigusto Phoenix. It doesn't really need anything. Synchros. I've got 2 Junk Warrior. When he's Synchro summoned, gains 1,000 for every Ojama on the field. That's under Ojama Country, though. So he'll be 1,300 attack instead of 1,300 defense. But then, if you have 1 Ojama, he's up to 2,300, you have 2 Ojamas, 3,300, etc. Then I've got a TG Hyper Librarian, just because I can't, for the life of me, find my, what's it called, Frozen Fitzgerald. It's like that dark synchro thing, you know? 1 Dark Tuner, 1 or more non-tuner Beast-type monsters. That's a lot better. That's 2,500 attack, 2,500 defense. Basically, when it's destroyed, it comes back. When I find that, TG Hyper Librarian's coming out. But until then, it's gotta be what it's gotta be. Then I've got Ally of Justice Catastor, because you don't really care what your attack points are if you're going to destroy the monster anyway. Then Black Rose, because the Junk Synchron plus 2 Ojamas will make that. Or Junk Synchron and the Shining Angel or the Nimble Hamster makes that. Then Mistworm, which is 1 Junk Synchron, 3 Ojamas, or 1 Junk Synchron, 1 Shining Angel or Super Nimble Mega Hamster, and 1 Ojama. I've made this before. Against Marmails, bounced both their Undines back to hands. The Undines both already got their effects off, so they were completely dead. It was awesome. Alright, now I'm going to get to the strategy of this. Basically, what you want, because not a lot of people know what Ojamas do. So basically, you want this guy to be getting his effect off. The way you can do that is you can creature swap him to the opponent, take their monster and ram it into the blue, get his effect off, do damage to them, plus then you have a monster. The best play is, say your Ojama Blue was destroyed, right? You use his effect and get 2 Ojama cards to your hand. Generally, the first ones I pick are Country and Magic. Right? So Ojama Blue's gone. You activate country, use country's effect, ditch the magic, bring back blue. Magic's effect, grab one of each color vanilla to your hand. Then you can Ojama blue. Let's say he's destroyed again. Second time his effect goes off, you choose Ojama Delta Hurricane and Ojama Red. Right, so they go to your hand. Now it's your turn. You normal summon the red. Actually, here, let me zoom out a little bit. You normal summon the red. His effect goes off. Special summon black, special summon yellow, special summon green. And if you have another Ojama in your hand, you can special summon that. So let's just say you summon a blue also. So here's your whole big butt Ojama field. All of them have 1,000 attack because of country. Ojama Delta Hurricane, you have one of each vanilla. There goes all that. Then you just poked them for 5,000. Probably my favorite kind of play. That's the one you get off the most often if they just attack right into those blues. But again, there's the creature swap in case they won't attack into it. And you can always just attack into their monster, drop honest so you don't take damage and still get its effect off. I've actually rammed it into monsters and taken like 2,600 damage just to get the effect off because it's that important in this deck. Which is why there's the Nimble Hamsters and the Shining Angels. Now for the crazy tech, I would call it the Magical Hats and the Ojama Trio. I'll go over Trio first. And, oh yes, and the Super Poly. The reasons for these. Super Poly, you have to discard a card, right? Ojama Magic, just because you can get its effect off. It's sent from the hand to the graveyard. Plus then Super Poly, you can activate Ojama Trio first. Your opponent gets 3 Ojama tokens to their field. Then you can Super Poly them. You ditch the general magic or whatever you want. Sometimes there's dead cards in your hand. Super Poly 2 of their tokens together, get Ojama Knight. Remember, Ojama Knight's just 2 Ojama monsters. These are Ojama tokens, they can count. Then the other one, the Magical Hats. Now you've probably been pretty confused about this. So let's say I had left my, where is it? Ojama Yellow. It's stuck in face-up attack position. They just like MST'd my Ojama Country, so it's at 0. Nothing good is coming out of this. They attack into it. Activate Magical Hats. Choose 2 cards from your deck that aren't monsters, special summon them face down defense position and treat them as monsters. Okay. I'll pick 2 Ojama magics. So this gets flipped, this gets flipped, this gets flipped. Doesn't matter that they're supposed to be shuffled and then your opponent can just attack into them. This isn't where that comes in. I mean, you can do that. Super Poly. These are all monsters, right? Ojama. An Ojama monster. Super Poly the 2 Ojamagics together into Ojama Knight. Here, let me just grab it. Into Ojama Knight. And then get both of their effects off. But since, of course, this was a yellow, you would only get one of their effects off. If this was like a blue or red, you could get both of their effects off. But generally, it's not a very good play. It's a very hard one to get off. I did actually get it off in my first play test with this, the first time I ever tried using the deck in real life. But it does happen, and I just like to see the looks on people's faces when that happens. But generally, if you wanted this deck to be a little more consistent, or a little more like tournament level. You could take out, say, the Ojama trios and the magical hats or the super poly, and just replace them with stuff like the ignoble knight, because you tribute tribute light monster you have on the field to special summon him from the hand or graveyard. So that's great. He keeps coming back. Then you can put some level 8 synchros in there to go with him and the junk synchron and just stuff like that. But I just really like this deck because it's just a fun, strange, almost local competitive type of deck to play, and it just helps me get my minds off of things when you know, the meta just starts getting annoying, because you know they just keep printing cards that basically say you win, like Megalo and whatnot. But that's it for my Ojama deck, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe. Remember, no bashing just because it's Ojamas. Just any other opinions that you might have on it to make it better. And I will see you guys later.